Are you struggling to build your Swift 3 project in Xcode 9? You're not alone. Many developers are facing this issue, and today we're going to unravel the mystery behind it. I totally get it. You install the latest version of Xcode, excited to use Swift 3, and then you hit build, only to be greeted by a wall of errors. It's frustrating, right? You're definitely not the only one experiencing this. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user recently asked, why am I getting errors when trying to build my Swift 3 project in Xcode 9? They mentioned seeing a message that says, module compiled with Swift 3.1 cannot be imported in Swift 4.0. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's going on here? Xcode 9 supports both Swift 3 and Swift 4, but there are some caveats. If your project or any dependencies were compiled with Swift 3.1, they won't work with Swift 4.0. This can lead to those pesky errors you're seeing. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to resolve these errors and get your project building smoothly again. To begin resolving the user's issue, the first step is to ensure that all dependencies are compatible with Swift 3. The user should check the project settings in Xcode. Next, the user should verify that all third-party libraries or frameworks used in the project are compiled with Swift 3. If any are compiled with Swift 4, they will cause compatibility issues. Now the user should clean the build folder to remove any cached data that might be causing conflicts. This can be done easily in Xcode. After cleaning the build folder, the user should try building the project again. This will help identify if there are still any remaining issues. Finally, if the user continues to encounter errors, they may need to update their code to ensure compatibility with Swift 3. This might involve adjusting syntax or method calls. Fun fact, did you know that Swift was first introduced in 2014? It's come a long way since then, and with each version, it gets even better, though sometimes a bit tricky. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggests that Swift 3, 4, and 4.2 targets can coexist in your project. You can decide when to migrate on a per-target basis, making it flexible for your needs. If you need different CocoaPods versions, you can specify the Swift version in your pod file. Use a post-install hook to set the Swift version for each target as needed. If Xcode updates your CocoaPods project version unexpectedly, you can manually change the Swift version in the build settings of the CocoaPods project. That wraps up that answer. Let's move on to another one. One user faced similar issues when using Swift 3 with Xcode 9. They found that after installing a pod with Swift version 3.x, while their project was set to Swift 4, they encountered numerous compiler errors. To resolve this, they changed the Swift language version in the build settings from 4 to 3.2. However, they still faced errors because they had run pod install while the project was set to Swift 4. Let's take a look at an answer from another user. An alternative approach suggests that Xcode 9 requires frameworks to be built with Swift 3.2 or higher. To implement this, download the Cleanroom Logger framework from GitHub, open the project in Xcode 9, and build it. Once the framework is successfully built, drag it into your project. Here's a pro tip. Always keep your dependencies updated and check their compatibility with your Swift version. This can save you a lot of headaches down the road. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to build your Swift 3 project in Xcode 9 without any issues. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks, and remember to keep coding.